multiple women in the C-suite, like I said, it's not rare. What's the effect on leadership within the company, and how does that play out when it's not just you, by the way, there's other women in your C-suite?
Yeah, I'll start there. Thank you everyone for being here too. This is an amazing event. You know, it is still rare, as you said, about having multiple women in the C-suite, although not as much as it used to be, and definitely still in technology. And I feel like what we're able to do in our roles and our enterprise hat is we have this amazing CEO, Bill McDermott, who from the very top believes that this is an important part of his company strategy, is to have diversity around him and throughout the company. But more than that, the status quo is challenged at ServiceNow because we've changed the system. So to have a great CEO with values and a purpose that he personally aligns to is number one. The second is we have an amazing board, and we have two of our board members here who have great support for what we do, and we have a winning strategy.
Multiple women on your board, right?
Yeah, yes. Anita and Sue, raise your hand, there they are. And this winning strategy is backed up with a great management team. But beyond that, we have a system of talent and how we manage our talent. So we hired last year, nearly 50% of the people that we hired in leadership were women. We have development programming to build up all of our people, and our women especially, inside the company so that they can grow and have the career that they wanted and dream of. And as we hire people, we hire for character. You don't want to ever say to a woman, I know we wouldn't want this, we hired you because you're a woman. We hire the best people, and because we have a system that has challenged the status quo, we're able to deliver on that. So that's my point of view.
Yeah, and I would just add that tone at the top matters, and it's not by accident that Jacqui and I are working for this company where the tone at the top is so strong. Bill is a staunch supporter of all women. Our board, we have 3 incredible board members who are women on our board, and the tone at the top matters. And then you operationalize it throughout the company, which I think is pretty incredible. The last numbers that I saw about CFOs in Fortune 500 companies, there's 16% were women. 16. It's the highest it's ever been. Great. That means 84% are still men.
Right.
And so I'm really proud to represent that 16%. It's even more important to me that I'm a role model for the next generation. It's one of the reasons why I took the role at ServiceNow, because it is high-tech, big cap, and having a female CFO in tech, rarer more.
Yeah.
And so being that person that young women can see, because you cannot be what you cannot see. I truly believe that from the bottom of my heart. And so leaning in and ensuring that we are breaking the status quo and thinking about things different. And even just the relationship that Jacqui and I have, very often the CFO and the chief people officer are not the tightest of people, right?
Right.
I think we all know that, right? The finance hat, people hat, where are you investing? But the fact that our talent strategy is the business strategy, it's so important for us to be tied at the hip. And so that, I think, is also breaking the status quo and breaking the norms.
Let's talk about business strategy. It is a business conference, and the other way that you've challenged the status quo is, historically in tech, it's grow, forget profitability, just revenue. You had a big focus on profitability from day one.
Yep.
Why and how did you do that in a sector where that isn't, that challenges the status quo?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the fact that we never sacrificed our values for growth at all costs. So innate in who we are is hungry and humble, and so it was growth and profitability. But it hasn't always been easy, as you say. Companies that are incredibly innovative have a culture of we've got to invest, throw money at it, and we'll figure it out. And so it's been challenging at times to break that norm and break through that. And you can lecture all you want as a CFO about the importance of financial discipline and stability, but that's only going to get you so far. You've got to bring the people along, right? And so how do you do that? Well, I get my heads of innovation and growth, and I put them in the room with investors, and I let them hear firsthand why not only growth is important, but also that financial discipline. And at the same time, as a CFO, I am out with customers all of the time, understanding their challenges and their issues, and how technology can help solve their problems and drive really strong business outcomes. And so I can be focused on growth, and I have the people who are really responsible for growth also understanding the importance. And so it's bringing people along and not just lecturing down. The other thing that I think has been integral to the success is being able to see around corners, right? Ensuring that you're not hiring in front of growth and being really smart. It's really important that we're not just thinking about today and tomorrow, but about growth 1, 3, 5, and 10 years ahead. And I think that's been one of the reasons why we've been so successful. We never had to do any layoffs in the last couple of years. And in technology, that's a really rare, rarefied space. And the ability to see around corners, I think, has enabled a lot of that success.
So seeing around corners, let's talk about AI. You're a company that helps other companies transform digitally. What are you telling them, and what are you telling your employees about AI, where they understand the power of what digital transformation can do?
Yeah, and breaking the status quo, I'm going to answer this first. As the Chief People Officer, not a lot of Chief People Officers probably think about this as much as our CIOs and technologists, but it is because AI, as we believe it, is fundamentally a people strategy. Technology, AI, right now, generative AI, obviously we all agree, is going to change the landscape of every place that we work in and live in. But at its core, if you don't have a people strategy that's going to reskill people in your organization to be able to work in a new way, feel comfortable with the technology, bring them along, as Gina said, you have a communication strategy about why this isn't about taking out jobs. Strategically for us, it's about the enablement and augmentation of work. And one of the things we did really fast and early, we have 23,000 people in the company now, we trained all of them in the basics of AI and generative AI. Now, different people had to know more, but comfortably so that all people could talk and understand how AI impacts their day and then how it impacts a customer's day. And I believe that's at the core of our strategy. It's not just tech for job elimination.
Yeah, and every CEO, CFO I talk to is leaning into the strategy of AI. And productivity is a big piece of it. We've only launched not even 6 months, and we're expecting annualized $10 million of productivity gains. But it's not
at the expense of people?
No, it's not. It's about, I might not have to hire as many people in the future, which, by the way, there's a huge skills gap. So for a long time, we were talking about skills gaps and how are we going to hire enough people. Well, now, potentially, we have the ability to catch up. And the other thing, while productivity is important, I think it's even more interesting that it's going to automate the more routine, mundane work. So what it does, it gives people back time to do the more challenging, innovative, inspiring type of work. So how do you get your workforce loving what they do every single day, maybe getting back a few more hours to go home a little early and spend with their family?
That is great news. That's
a
very positive way to look at AI. I'm happy to hear that. Ladies, thank you so much. This has been really fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, great. Thank you.